So, hey, good morning. Thank you for watching my past videos. I really appreciate it. I didn't realize so many people were in that same space of um, starting over or a new change in their life. I'm really slow this morning, so much so that I think I'm going back to bed because I am really tired. I did not sleep well at all last night. I have a lot of things on my mind. Um, so over the next year or two, I know that there are going to be major changes in my life. It's not a if, it's a when. And so I'm trying to prepare myself for what that is going to look like. Um, and not just the fact that, like I said, that my son is going away to college, and it's leaving me a lot to think about the fact that he's going away to college. But now I'm in that space where what do I do with me now? I don't have someone that I have to um, take care on a regular basis. It's in my home that I have to take care of, and I know what I'm called to do, and I know where I'm called to be, and so I'm investigating and researching where that space is. But I'm in a space right now in my life where I know that there is a spiritual calling on me, and 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 that spiritual calling for me is it is very loud in my ears, and it's very loud in my, and maybe not necessarily saying it's very loud in my ears, but it's very loud in my spirit. Something that I've always known for myself is that I have a deeply rooted connection to the spiritual. And I think that when we have these conversations, a lot of times people go off on the deep edge because of their lack of knowledge and understanding when it comes to the spiritual understanding. And sometimes people conflate um, different religions and denominations and put the two together and their lack of knowledge and try to go down roads that are just inaccurate, And so, one thing that I know for myself in terms of my spiritual understanding is that God talks to me on a regular basis, and He has been talking to me for a very, very long time. So much so, I will say that even in my younger years, that I used to dismiss it and call myself crazy. Like I would be like, oh, I would have that inner conversation. I would hear that inner conversation, and I thought I was schizophrenic. I thought I was bipolar. I thought it was all these things. Never diagnosed, like medically, clinically diagnosed. Always self-diagnosis, type of things. Um, and um, and so I just would dismiss it or anything like that. But as I'm getting older, and I am seeing how different things are evolving, and I see the knowledge, the spirit. God has given me the spiritual gift of wisdom, and so and I have um, a very high spiritual gift of discernment, and and I have and also the things that I know for me for sure is I have a spiritual gift of wisdom, a spiritual gift of discernment, and I have a spiritual gift of vision. And how that vision plays out is not in the sense of that I physically see what's happening in the future. I can tell what's going on with people. And I had God has given me that spiritual gift of vision of what is going on and being able to call a thing that's happening with people. So a lot of times that is very disturbing for me because depending upon the people that is around me, I can pick up a lot of stuff. And it's not the same as being an empath, because I'm also empath. So it's not the same. For those who understand what I'm saying, they'll know what I'm saying. Um, and so a lot of times I have found myself, I retreat and I come back into my own, and I also refrain from saying certain things to people because I don't want people to think or rule me off or dismiss me and be like, oh, something crazy about her, or I really just got caught up in what other people would think. And I never wanted to be that girl, be like, the Lord told me to tell you. kind of thing. And then somebody come and say, well, if the Lord talked to you, how come he can talk to me? I don't know. I don't know that. But what I do know is I know something is going on. And so there are certain people in my circle that they are able to um, receive the word that is given to me when I when there are things that need to be said, and I talk to them and I let them know. And it never really is like never any precursor to anything like that of like, oh, I'm calling you because I got a word for you or something like that. It's usually in that moment. Like I have to be talking to somebody, and in that moment, that's when those words are said to me, or that tone, that feeling, that thing. It can come in a variety of ways. And so with that understanding, you know, one of the things that I know for me is that this journey that I'm moving into in this space in my life, it is to use a word that a great friend of mine said to me yesterday, is a liberation. And it's a liberation from certain values. It's a liberation from certain expectations. It's a liberation of certain things that I have allowed myself to be so deeply entrenched in that my soul is screaming freedom. My soul is screaming walk away and let go. And so I am yearning to be released so I can walk into the freedom of and the liberation of where God has taken me. So part of my dissertation that I have to do for global health equity. So my dissertation is like a study. It's a research study. And I know what I'm going to be doing my dissertation on. I'm firm on what I know I'm going to be doing on. But in order for me to do that dissertation, because it's going to be a heavy emotional and spiritual lift, there's some things I have to do now so I can be able to properly serve that dissertation in the way that it needs to be served. And what that means for me is that I have to have a shift. I've got to have a location shift. I've got to have a spiritual shift. There is a shifting that is going to be happening for me in this space. And I will also say that on one hand that it feels scary, right? Because when you know that you're called to do something and you know that it just won't shake, that you have to go do that thing. But the fear of the unknown and the fear of leaving certain things and people and places behind can be very overwhelming. And not saying that you're leaving them behind or that thing or that person or place or whatever behind where you never will talk to them again. But it's almost like when Jesus had to go into Gethsemane and to be alone for 40 days and to go into solitude so he could be one with the Father. And that's what's happening with me, is that I have to go, I have to go away, but no, I'm coming back again, that type of thing. I've got to go away because there are things that I have to process and become at one with. And I even know where I have to go. And so it's in this space, in this time that as I'm going on this journey and getting prepared to travel and getting prepared to embark on this next new chapter of my life, that there is a level of fear. I'll come back for part 2.